They said, we were told that we had to go to the bookstore and buy this special paint. And this paint is called Plaka. It was imported from Switzerland. I believe that Plaka was sold in 2 places, Switzerland and the University of Cincinnati. And like sort of the way you work with Plaka was you sort of would paint some, I mean, maybe it came in more, I didn't ever see any other colors it came in. It came in black and white. And you painted with it, and you'd sort of be painting a letter form, paint the black part of the letter form, and then if you went over, you'd paint the white part of the letter form. You'd use the white to kind of paint back the black part that went over. Then you'd nip in too far and you'd go back with the black part. If you ever try to cut your own bangs, sort of like that. And so I know, I've had many co-ops and interns work with me, and I know they find it very to listen to people my age talk about the character building qualities of doing it that way. But it really was character building. You really look at a letter form differently if you painted it by hand and it took 16 hours. It's very, very difficult. It's really different than a letter form that you just download illegally from some site and start using in a second, right? So one of the things that I think we learned here was that I remember Joe actually, I was sitting next to Peggy, I was sitting next to Margaret going out, and Joe came up and said, "Oh, I think that's going to work. I think you just need to spend 100 more hours." It wasn't like he was saying a bajillion more hours. He literally meant 100 hours. Maybe Jill never get it done. There's not even 100 hours between now and the crit. And I said, I don't mean literally 100 hours. But things took time, and that time that we spent here focused on those things actually made me into a much better designer. I think transformed a lot of us. And then, of course, Heinz, who would always say, that's maybe do a neuter one. Maybe do a neuter one. But that's sort of one thing that you not only can you do another one, you always should do another one. Last night I think Gordon said too, it's after you finally have it perfect, it's the time to sort of do one more just to see what you would have done. If you have more time, what actually could you do? And it's those moments of kind of going back and just working, revisiting things, thinking again, trying to think a different way to do it. That I remember in Heinz's very, very first class, and somewhere in my basement I still have those Plaka encrusted boards that we did for him. Sort of working that out and sort of like getting one done, then doing another one, and another neuter one, and neuter one. And it's such a difference. Something that like even when I'm, without attempting to imitate the accent, I will sort of say I'll say the exact same thing to one of the students who's working with me in my office. I'll just say, that's not you, just do another one, okay? And then it always works actually. Sooner or later, if you keep doing another one of those other ones is going to be better than the first. That's how evolution happens in nature and in design, I'd say. And I have to admit, like I said, I wasn't one of the people who didn't know what graphic design was when I got here. I already owned a copy of Graphic Design Manual by Armin Hoffman when I arrived, because it was in our library for some reason, the Parma, Ohio Regional Library on Snow Road. I looked up graphic design at Park Hill. It was the only book in graphic design I had was that book. I have no idea why. And so I asked for it for Christmas, and my parents somehow got a copy of it for me. And I had it in the studio, and Heinz came in and picked it up and looked at it, opened the page and said, I did do that one. And he's pointing at one of the illustrations that he had done in that book. So when you hear about musicians who sort of studied with a violinist, who studied with violinists, who studied with violinists, who studied with Stradivarius, I feel like our class got to study with Stradivarius in the form of Heinz Schenker.